3, 2, 1. Hello everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Alison.
And together we are
Loving Life with Disabilities, but without the dis.
If you've seen our introduction on the previous video, we talk about what our channel's about and what our videos are going to be about sort of people with disabilities, a couple with disabilities, how we actually sort of like get through life. We'll be talking about
the challenges we face.
Yes, the challenges and the positives as well, because there are lots of positives. We try to keep a positive sort of spin on everything and appreciate life, the life that we've been dealt, that we just
We're
appreciate.
Very grateful for. We have a good life. We might have disabilities, but we believe we have a really good life.
We don't let it beat us. We work, we do all the things that many able people take for granted.
And we have a very positive outlook with life. Yeah. And if there is challenges that face us, then we can generally overcome them.
Yeah, we do. We do. And together we work really well. We do lots of things as a couple. Together, so whether it's doing the gardening, it could be something as simple as sort of like taking out the washing, bringing in the washing, doing the shopping together.
We're a team.
We are a team.
We're a really good team. We're kind of inseparable as well.
Yeah, we are. We love each other's company, which has to be a good thing, doesn't it? So this episode, we're just going to give a little bit of an introduction about us, our disabilities, and how they affect us. So did you want to start or do you want me to start, Alison?
You can start.
Okay. So I have a rare form of muscular dystrophy. It's called Anderson-Tarwill syndrome. Had it all my life. Had it from birth.
How does it affect you
on
a day-to-day?
So I don't know from one day to the next how it really is going to affect me. I can wake up in the morning and feel sort of fairly mobile, able to do things. By the afternoon, my muscles could have seized up and I struggle getting up from a chair or walking. I can go off to work. If I've got to go into the office, by the end of the day, I struggle sort of walking back to my car. So it can affect me sort of like that. But equally, if I'm weak, I can actually go to bed and wake up in the morning and I'm fine.
And also sometimes when you have certain foods, I've noticed how that can affect you, on a day-to-day or the following day. If you've eaten something like a McDonald's, then I've noticed how it can affect you the following day. So it's about your diet as well. And
it is very much about my diet and what I eat and what I don't eat. Really, and as Alison's just sort of described, for example, a McDonald's can make me feel quite sluggish, I'm always sort of very tired. Actually sort of changes my mood. It actually sort of makes me feel a bit sort of down in myself, and I've had this all my life, so I should be sort of used to it, but it does affect me in those ways. I don't drink alcohol, not because I don't like alcohol, because alcohol doesn't like my condition. So it makes me feel a bit poorly and take medication sort of to sort of keep me going.
We try to sort of eat healthy as much as possible to help your condition and to help mine as I've got older. Certain things have affected me. It's not so much disability, it's the health issues with me as I've got older.
Yeah. So Alison, with your disability, so you're a paraplegic.
I'm a paraplegic, I am. Well, I'm Alison first.
Yeah.
And I'm a paraplegic.
Yeah. Not Alison the paraplegic. She's Alison with a disability, which happens to mean that she's a paraplegic. Now, for lots of people watching this, they might think, oh, she's a paraplegic, she must have been in a car crash, she's fallen off a horse, or she's jumped off of the top of a building and broke her back. It wasn't the case for you, was it?
No, nothing dramatic like that. Unfortunately for me, I had an operation when I was about 2 years old, and the nerves got severed in my spinal cord, so hence it left me paralysed from the waist down. But again, like yourself, I haven't allowed it to impact my impact my life. If anything, I use it as a tool to be more give me strength and
I think even we embrace our disabilities.
Yeah,
really.
definitely.
We don't let them define us. You know, whether it's work, relationships, it's not sort of, oh, poor me, what about sort of my disability?
we're definitely not woe me
No,
type of
we're
people.
not.
Far from it.
We're not. I don't think, you know, if we've talked to any sort of friends or people we know who have sort of these sort of types of disabilities, they tend to have that similar sort of mindset, sort of attitude, that you've just got to make the most of life, and you know, every day's a blessing, isn't it? You've just got to be happy and thankful. So Alison, even though you know you're a paraplegic, you've worked,
I have, yeah.
you got a family,
I have, yeah. I brought three boys. Very proud of them.
and when you gave birth, sort of naturally.
I had all natural births, yep, and that's something I am very proud of as well, because I was told, first of all, I was told I couldn't have children, and me being me, I always like to prove people wrong. So if somebody says I can't do something, then I'll go that bit further to prove I can actually do something. So yeah, I had gas and air, but yeah.
Yeah, and you know that can be a real challenge in itself for someone with a disability like Alison's got, to give birth 3 times naturally, and to bring up 3 boys in a wheelchair and still maintain the home. Alison's very house proud, always has been. You know, she's my rock when it comes to sort of sorting out the home, the bills, organising stuff. That's why we work together sort of as a team sort of really well, and you know,
Absolutely.
wouldn't be without her.
Yeah, but I have to say, before we I talk about yourself again, for me with my disability, when I was younger, I found it quite easy being in a wheelchair. People might find that a strange thing to say, but as I've got older, because I'm sort of in my 50s now, I actually find it really difficult now being in a wheelchair, because there's a lot more comes to you as you get older, I guess, from my disability and the fact that I've been in a wheelchair. So I have to deal with things like lymphedema in my legs, I have inflammation, because I've had used my top half of my body all my life to sort of pull the wheelchair in and out of the car, because I do drive, lifting the children, all the things able-bodied woman would do, I've done as well, but from a wheelchair. And it, you know, I've never let it bother me, it's never been a problem. But like I say, as I've got older, like anybody else, you end up with lots of different other health issues on top, and it makes it harder. So yeah, you do this part of my disability is more challenging, let's say.
And I think I get that as well, because equally I'm in my 50s as well, and I think it's now that I'm starting sort of to realise that I'm definitely not as mobile as I used to be. Sort of walking any great distances does tire me out. You know, things that I probably would have took for granted sort of like years ago, I have to really sort of think about now. So it is a little bit more planning when we go to do something, and I have to sort of hope I'm going to have a really good day physically to be able to do things, because when I'm feeling good, I tend to sort of like try and cram everything and do as much as I can in one day.
You sometimes overdo it, and then because you've overdone it, you're suffering the next day. And also with like you drive as well, like myself, although you've got a car, you do sometimes drive my van, and if you're having a bad day, you're struggling because the van's quite high. I've got a lift to get in with my wheelchair, but Mike obviously gets in the driver's, and it's quite a step up, isn't it?
So
and
things like that I do
I've seen you
notice.
struggle, to do that on your bad days.
Whereas years ago, I would manage it. I still have days where I struggled, but it's more noticeable sort of now. And you could
You're
say
walking.
that about anyone else, couldn't you? Sort
Yeah,
of.
and with your walking, that's
Yeah,
more noticeable now than
Yeah.
when I knew you years ago.
yeah. I'm a lot slower with my walking. I walk with a limp, and it's become a little bit more sort of pronounced sort of when I'm walking, a bit of a waddle. When I sort of walk.
A
Yeah,
little wobble.
if you imagine a little penguin walking along, that's me. If you just put me in a top hat and tails, and down the road I go, I would look like a penguin, I think. But
Waddle, waddle,
waddle. But so I hope that gives you some insight into sort of our conditions. We just wanted you sort of like to understand that we are genuine disabled people, and this channel, like I said, is about looking at the positives and the challenges and how we overcome them, and many other disabled people have to overcome them as well.
And I think for us, with our channel, it's a bit different to anybody else's channel, because we've watched some, haven't we, and where people have kind of recently been diagnosed with a disability or an illness, whereas we've done it sort of from day one, had to
Yeah, we've just had to adapt all through life,
adapt
haven't we?
and sort of get on with things. So where I think it's difficult for somebody who's just recently been diagnosed, so they're like wondering how am I going to live my life. We want to show you that no matter what, you can still live your life to the full. It's all about, you know, your mindset, and just, you know, being strong in the mind.
And finding ways of doing things that suit your capabilities.
That's right.
You know, don't beat yourself up with things that you can't do. There's always ways around it, and you know, however you sort of get around any projects or goals or anything that you set, anything can be possible.
And for me, I've always thought this is how I've kind of coped with my disability. I always focus on what I can do rather than what I can't do. So if you can focus on what you can do, then that will help you.
I remember I worked for an organisation years ago called Meridian East, and we supported people with health problems and disabilities back into work and training. And the motto for Meridian East was helping people reach their potential. And that kind of stuck with me in my mind, because everyone has a potential that they can reach. You know, it doesn't matter whether you can't run a complete marathon. If you can run a half a marathon, or you can run a park run or wheel, or however you do that, that's an achievement.
That's what I was going to say. It's not always about running. If you're in a wheelchair, you can roll that marathon.
You can roll that marathon and still get to the finish line, however long it takes you. It's just about accepting that some things take a little bit longer, and just finding a way of enjoying life. And some people, you might have to accept help. We're quite independent, and we do sort of battle sometimes with trying to keep our independence, but we realise that as a couple we're strong, and we do rely on each other to a certain extent to help each other out. We're just a little bit stubborn sometimes in accepting it. Probably me more than Alison. She's always telling me off and saying that I need to accept it a little bit more, but
It's not that. You just you tell me off if I don't have your help, but as soon as I go to help you, you don't want to
so
know.
maybe I'm a little bit more stubborn than Alison, but we help each other. So I hope that's given you some insight. Please subscribe to our channel.
You're going to see some exciting things with us as well. It's not all going to be like boring things.
No, it's not.
Well,
It's
I
not.
hope nothing's going to be boring, but
You know, we've got holidays coming up. We have. We're going to sort of
breaks away.
show you sort of like our home lifestyle. The kitchen. Alison's very proud of the kitchen. There's going to be a video sort of like showing you the accessible kitchen.
I'm going to show you how I cook in our kitchen, but it's really my kitchen because I do the cooking.
She's better at them than me.
So I'm going to show you how I go about cooking a meal like any able-bodied person. I'm going to show you how we do some transfers from the wheelchair to the bed, wheelchair to the toilet, all those things.
How we manage in a garden. You know, we can't do sort of like a garden like sort of many able-bodied people. But I think we've done a pretty good job this year, haven't we?
Absolutely. And we're going to show you how Mike does his radio station.
Yeah, so we're going to show you some of our hobbies and interests, and also issues that sort of face disabled people over the coming sort of videos and months, and hopefully as the videos grow we'll get a bit more interaction sort of with yourselves.
Yeah.
And if you've got any suggestions of areas that you'd like us to talk about, or
if you want to ask any questions about either our disabilities, we're more than happy to help, but keep it nice and and you know.
Yeah, this is a family show, so keep it
clean. Yeah, no swearing.
No swearing.
You don't swear, do you, Mike?
Sometimes. Yeah, but not on air.
No.
I'm quite good like that. Anyway, I think we've sort of chewed your ears off enough for this particular show. So all is left for us to say now is...
It's a goodbye from him.
And it's a goodbye from her.
Bye.
Ta-ra.